Anybody practice, Terry, or is there any kind of injuries lingering or anything like that?
Hassan tweaked his ankle, so he didn't practice today. Other than that, Pau took the day off today, and Nurk.
Well,
I don't. I think it might be the left, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Do we know? Hassan
is it?
yesterday in practice.
Do you know how long he's going to be out from it,
No.
or what it's like?
Anybody standing out, Terry?
I think it's tough to stand out in training camp. You're going through a lot of drills. You're going through a lot of stations. There's a lot of teaching. So I think it's difficult for anybody to really stand out. I think the biggest thing is you don't want to stand out in a bad way more than anything else, and there hasn't been any. No, and nobody's doing that either.
So these guys have been practicing, playing pickup for a few weeks now leading up to this. Have you seen that translate in these first couple practices so far?
Left ankle. Yeah, the work that we were able to get in the last 2 or 3 weeks really helped us, primarily on the offensive end, with the new guys, getting them comfortable with some of the things that we've been doing over the last 2 or 3 years. So it kind of allows camp to go smoother because of what they learned in the last 2 or 3 weeks.
You talked about obviously his career yesterday, but in terms of the sort of mentorship he's going to bring to some of the younger guys, what have you seen so far, and what are you hoping having a player like that is going to do for younger guys?
Well, so far, I think the thing that really stands out is how smart he is. I mean, he came in, he was the last guy to come here in September, and he picked things up pretty quickly. He's seen it all, and he just has a great basketball IQ. And to me, that shows in the stations when we do 5-on-0 offense, just how quickly he's able to pick those things up, and then again being able to help the younger guys that it's kind of new to them.
Terry, I think all the new guys have remarked about Dame and CJ and their leadership and how well they get along. And I think we've kind of come to accept it, normalize it. But what benefit is that your two stars get along so well?
The way things are here are Dame and CJ have a lot to do with it because of their leadership. Because of how they go about their business during the season, off season, early workouts. I read a quote by CJ saying, when your best players are two of your better workers, that makes things easier. They're on time. It makes things that much easier. There's not a double standard for a lot of things. And the culture of your team, I found in the NBA, is in large part, you can have coaches and general managers and things like that, but in large part, the team takes on the personality of your best player, your best players, and that's what's happened here.
So it's safe to say they kind of make your job easier in that respect.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have to handle a lot of things that maybe some other coaches do because of how Dame and CJ conduct themselves, not only individually but around their teammates and their expectations of their teammates to do the same.
Those two teaching each other different parts of their game, teaching each other different
Dame and
parts.
CJ?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. They're different players. I think they kind of they have grown in their own way, and I don't know how much they've taught each other. To be honest, I think they've molded their game for what works well for them, and they score in different ways, and they've grown as NBA players in different ways.
In the role he's going to play, Simons, how has he done in camp so far, Terry? And do you shape him in a certain way, knowing what he's going to be asked to do this season? Or does he just go out and play? Do you try to play him with certain people? How does that all work?
Mostly in training camp, I try and let everybody play with everybody. I don't have first, second, third teams. I divide the teams up where, like Dame and CJ haven't played together yet. It's just I want everybody getting comfortable with everybody. But as far as Anthony goes, You know, he's a combo guard. He's been playing some point. He runs the offense. He'll run the wing if he's out there with Dame. You know, he's got to be able to do both. He's going to guard point guards. He's going to guard twos, and he's going to run the offense, and he's going to play off the ball. So, just putting him in all those situations.
When will you start having the starters play together?
I don't know. That's a day-to-day thing. I don't have the team set up for tomorrow yet.
Have you always done that?
Yeah. Yeah.
So with less than a week, 2 practices in, less than a week before your first preseason game, what do you want to see the team improve most before that first action?
You know, we're a long way from. We need to improve in everything. I mean, it's we got to put in the offense piecemeal. We've got to cover a lot of defensive situations. You know, the energy and effort and all that has been good, but there's just a lot of teaching to be done in the next 2 weeks.
One more question on Gasol. I wanted to know, obviously he's recovering from the ankle right now, but what sort of role do you see him and how much of a role do you see him playing this year once he's fully healthy?
Hassan?
No, Pop.
Oh, Powell. You know, he'll be most likely. He's coming off the bench. I think he can. Primarily, he'll play the 5. But you know, if he and Zach are playing together, you know, they have the ability to complement each other, where each guy can play both spots. You know, if there are times where he plays with Hassan, he's improved his 3-point shooting from an offensive standpoint. He can hurt a mismatch if they put an undersized guy on him, and he's a very smart defender. So. As usual, I don't like necessarily pigeonholing guys. I like guys to try and expand and see what they can do, and then we'll figure out what works best.
Rodney said that Trent Jr. really impressed him today. What have you seen out of Gary?
You know, he had a really good practice yesterday. Maybe a couple of the assistants said it was his best practice as a Blazer. He was really competitive defensively. We know he can shoot. For both him and Anthony, if you ask them both the difference between training camp this year and last year, how comfortable they feel, everything's was going 100 miles an hour for them last year. Now they're able to bring the new young guys along and help them. So, but Gary shot the ball really well today. But I thought yesterday his competitiveness at the defensive end was noticeable.